Hi there, I'm Rhonda Clark with First Arkansas Bank and Trust, and we're here today with Judith Douglas from United Abstract and Title, and she's here to discuss the importance of closing a home loan with a title company. All right, Judith, if you could tell us a little bit about United Abstract and Title Company and what a title company does.
Okay. United Abstract and Title Company has been located in Jacksonville, Arkansas for about 30 years, and we are a locally owned title insurance company. A title insurance agency. We write title insurance for two national underwriters, Stewart Title Guarantee and First American Title Insurance Company. And we do closings of the sale of real estate, and we also close refinances of real estate.
Great, that's great to know. And why is it important for someone that's purchasing a home to go through a title company and get title insurance and have a title policy in place?
Well, lenders require title insurance for their loan. They require themselves to be covered with title insurance, which shows you the importance of it. And so a buyer should have title insurance protecting their interest in the property. The owner's title insurance is a separate policy from the mortgagee's title insurance, which is what the lender requires. And the owner's title insurance is based on the sale price. So you have protection against the unknowns that could happen. For instance, if someone somewhere in the past on a deed forged a signature, you're protected by your owner's title insurance. If someone said they were a single person and actually they had a spouse and that spouse didn't sign a deed, you are protected by your title insurance, your owner's title insurance policy. It's those kind of unknown things that protects the buyer, and there is a premium for that, and that premium covers that property as long as that person owns that property. It's different from other insurance because it's a one-time premium, and as long as you own the property, that policy is still in effect.
Right, great. That's obviously very important for a buyer to have that's purchasing a house and have that security. And what would happen when we send a title order to you? What takes place on the title company side?
Okay. The first order of business is the gathering of information. And so the lender, First Arkansas for example, will send us a good bit of information in the order, but there will be other pieces of information that we will need to contact the buyer and the seller for.
Right.
We will gather all that information, and then the first thing that we do is order a title search. That's done from the courthouse records, and it's research on the property to make sure that the person that's selling the property has clear title and has the right to sell the property.
Right.
And then from that point we gather information such as who the buyer is going to use for their homeowner's insurance. If there's a survey required, what surveyor do they prefer to use? The termite policy, what termite company will be used? And then all of those things the buyer doesn't have to worry about. We take care of it. That's part of our job, and we will order all those things, get them in, make sure they are proper, furnish it all to the mortgage company. Once the title search comes back, the next thing that we do is to send a title commitment to the mortgage company to let the mortgage company know, yes, we will insure this property. Here are our requirements. There may be certain documents that are required to be filed before the policy can be issued. And that's exactly what title insurance is. It's just an insurance policy. And so we're going to say, under these circumstances, will we insure this property?
Right.
And that tells the lender that they are good to go, or that there are certain steps that must be taken before their loan can be insured.
Right, I understand. And as a lender, we are normally requiring a closing protection letter at closing. What exactly is a closing protection letter?
Closing protection letter is a letter from one of those underwriters from one of the national companies who will actually be insuring the policy. They send a letter to the lender. It is also addressed to the buyer and to the seller. and it tells them that they stand behind our company's handling of the funds. So if there's, for instance, if there's a $100,000 loan involved, it tells the mortgage company, this money is totally safe. You may disperse this money to this title company because we will stand behind it. So that if some unforeseen thing happened, in our industry, fraud is very rare. But like in all industries, it could happen. And so this is a protection to the customer and to the lender that all money is safe in our hands. It allows us to handle the money.
Great. And again, more security with closing with a title company.
Absolutely.
Right. And a question that I do have, does every purchase that you're providing title insurance for require a survey?
No. No. In the past, surveys were very common, but now with a lot of property being sold in platted subdivisions in cities, the lot lines are already pretty clear, and whether a survey is required or not, we look at the contract to see if it's required. Occasionally a lender will require a survey. If the property is rural and it's being cut out of a larger piece of land, then you've got to have a survey to determine the legal description of that property. So a survey is a good thing, and if someone asks me, do I need a survey? People ask me that a lot, and I will never say, oh no, you don't need a survey. You know, my recommendation is that a survey is a good thing, and that they need to look at their plat and look at the layout of the property they are buying to determine if they think that they need one. And surveys are not a very expensive item usually, usually just a few $100s, and that relieves your mind of any property line issues.
Right, I understand. And lastly, are there any documents that a borrower can get to you, or what can a borrower do to help meet their closing date? Closing dates are so vital these days. A lot goes into getting to an actual closing date. What can a borrower do or provide you to help?
If a borrower understands what information is going to be required by us, that helps tremendously. We are always going to need full names and social security numbers and contact information, telephone numbers and emails, and if the parties could have all of that information ready. And then the other thing, one of the things that holds up closing, I've got one right now that's supposed to close on Friday, but it needs flood insurance, and the people didn't prepare the insurance agent for the issuing of flood insurance, so that's holding us up. So if you could have your insurance agent have that lined up so that you can give the title company the insurance agent's name and telephone number. The same thing goes with the companies that are, if a survey is being done, have an idea who you want to do the survey. If there's a termite company involved, that's usually on the seller's end that would come in, but the seller should know who their current termite policy is with, furnish that information. As long as we have all that information on the very front end, then the title search goes fairly quickly. That's a matter of just very few days. And everything else is the gathering of information from other sources.
Great. Well, we'll definitely try to educate our buyers and what they need to bring and be prepared for on the title side for sure.
I wanted to furnish one more tip. On our website on unitedabstract.net, be sure it's net, we have links to Stewart Title Guarantee and to First American Title Insurance. And every question that you have about title insurance, you can find the answer on those national links. So look up our website and check those out, and you'll get an education about title insurance.
Well, great. That's great to know, and I appreciate your time today and helping us understand why it's so important to, definitely have the title company involved on purchasing a home.
Thank you,
Judith.
Rhonda.
Thank you.